Hello, welcome back to Live Reality Games. My name is Steven Stewart, and I'm here for more Surviving Bloomington content. I'm here today with guest host Taylor to talk about episode 12. Taylor, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Steven?
It's been a wonderful day. Now, Taylor, you are one of the main editors for Surviving Maine, correct?
I'm the only
The,
editor.
the only editor of Surviving Maine.
Yeah, I
So-
do the music and the editing for Surviving Maine, which has 2 seasons on YouTube.
and so, to my understanding, KC is the sole editor and everything for Surviving Bloomington.
I
And
believe
so
so, yeah.
I'm curious, how did you stumble across or get to know Casey and Surviving Bloomington?
It was kind of random. I think I was me and Liza run the Surviving Maine Instagram account, so I was following every LRG, and I ended up following Surviving Bloomington, and then Casey messaged us on the Surviving Maine account and was like, hey, do you want to collaborate? Our shows are coming out at the same time, because they started on YouTube around the same time. So we did a cast assessment. So it was totally random like that. He's just a great dude who's trying to get out there, get his game heard about, and collaborate with other LRGs, which is so fun. I love that. It's he wants a big happy family. I love that. So he did a cast assessment of Maine, and I did the Bloomington one, and we had a lot of fun on that.
So I'm curious, as a Survivor LRG editor and music producer, what are your thoughts on the Surviving Bloomington style?
Okay, Casey is doing such a good job. So people have talked about there should be awards for LRGs. I want this so badly because I want Casey to get the most artistic editing award, because he does the most creative things. And I want to ask him if some of it's out of necessity of having bad audio or something, and just having to do something different. But this episode we're going to talk about today, it just starts out with these stacked rocks and take your time or something like that. I was like, what am I watching? For a few minutes I was like, and it's this smooth jazz meditation music as the players are stacking these little rocks. I was like, Casey's so funny. This is great. It's like film noir sometimes on Surviving Bloomington, and I love it.
There was a Live Reality Games Awards show they did a couple of years ago.
No way.
Yeah, and it ran one year, but I don't think we've ever brought it back just because time, manpower, and it's weird. It's like you have games that run in person, right? You have games that run in person that are live streamed. And you have games that run in person that later come out as a video series, and so you have these kind of weird, how do you categorize or handle these things versus what was live versus what was coming out on YouTube. So
yeah.
So I don't think anyone's sat down and tried to figure out what should the categories be for this.
Maybe I'll take it upon myself.
Hey, if you want to, I think Live Reality Games would be happy to help you host it.
Awesome.
So what have your thoughts been about the season as a whole then?
I'm loving this season. It's super fun. Something else about Casey's editing job is that he's making the best use of existing music, Survivor season music. I don't know if you've noticed this or if you talked about this on other recaps, but Mia had her own theme song throughout the whole.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that was kind of the Mia. Mia would be off in the woods searching for idols. She'd have her little song that would come through. I don't think I put the two and two together, but you're completely correct.
Yeah, because even on this episode, she makes a cameo appearance. It's the screen goes black and it's Mia's music. I was like, why is he playing Mia's music? She was voted out. I'm devastated about this. And then she fucking shows up on camera and says that whatever. It was hilarious. She was like, you're lucky I'm not playing anymore. And they're starting the film. But yeah, the music. Yeah. So he's doing just an amazing job with the music too.
I was considering you do all the music for Surviving Maine, you are very in tune to how the audio is being used to convey a story or message to the audience.
Right. And I know how difficult it is just to come up with the right mood for the music. Forget about composing it. Yeah, that's hard too. But just the mood itself. And Casey's just doing such a great job. I love this season. And the cast is wonderful too. Like, how can you not root for almost all these players? They're great.
Who has like really stood out or captured your attention for the players? And it doesn't have to be the players left in the game from the entire season.
So I love Mia and Boogie, but Hannah, Queen Hannah, I know I went blurry for a second. Hannah is so fun to watch. She feels like the voice of the audience, like at least me being the audience, like she's saying things that I'm thinking, and you gotta love that, like hearing someone in their confessionals saying the things that you're thinking, like, why aren't they voting out Adam? What's wrong with these people? And she's playing so good, like under the radar. Everybody, we'll talk about this later. We'll talk about it later, but everyone mentioned her as like part of their ideal final three in this episode. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. So she's playing really well. I really love Megan too, and I love Jordan. And Griffin has surprised me a lot. Dallas was great, very sad. Even Rosie and like everyone's great.
For those of you who need another show to watch, Taylor and I actually did a podcast together a couple of weeks ago, I guess last month. It's time's been a blur for Outlast, a different live reality game. Taylor had plenty of hot takes in that episode, so if you feel that Taylor's being too kind, go to that episode for more stronger hot takes.
If you want to hear my negative views, listen to that one. Oh man, yeah, this is like the polar opposite LRG for me right now.
This is good. This is a happy place podcast to be. So, I mean, looking, I guess, at the final, we start this episode with the final 7. Is there a player that you look at, you're like, man, I really am hoping this player is going to pull out the victory?
A few, honestly. Like, that's how good this cast is. I want Hannah to win, but I also really love Jordan and Megan, and they're all three playing really good games. Also, Griffin is playing a really good game. So if any of them won, I would be super stoked. I don't think Rosie can win.
Really interesting.
I just don't see it. Like, he just hasn't done. I think the perception of him from the players in the game is that he hasn't done much. And then I think Adam, the only way Adam wins is if he's in the end with Rosie and Griffin, I think.
Really? Because it was interesting, because I thought after last episode, I'm like, man, Adam has 0 win equity. Like this the huge, he threw a big fit at tribal council, right? Jordan is mad at him. Everyone else is kind of upset too. And then he survives, right? And then we hear in this episode, he survives, he wins immunity. And everyone's just like, things have shifted.
But have they, right? Like, really? Yeah. I think Adam, give me Adam. I'm taking him to Vegas. We're having the best time. He's winning me all this money. Any LRG, if he's in it, I'm making a final 2 with him. Like, take me to the end with you, Adam, because he's so lucky. How is he doing this? He's safe every time.
We heard several players. Then Griffin and Dallas, both were just like, man, how does Adam do it?
Yes. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, so let's jump into the episode. We've kind of teased and talked about parts of it, but the cold open, right? Where we see like the river stream, kind of like all these stacks of rocks by the river, and it's take your time. I'm just like, then we see the players messing around with rocks. I'm like, is this like a guided meditation for the player's sanity?
Exactly. I like had to rewind. Like, did I miss something? What's going on? It took me a minute.
Yeah. You can't. So like, eventually, you as the viewer kind of pick up like, I think we're in a immunity challenge, and I don't know what the race is to do, but I think it's not the first to the tower, but seems to be the tallest tower at an undescribed time limit.
Right. So what was the time limit? Will we ever know? Because Adam stands up first, but he's just like looking around and other people are still stacking things up. So it took me a minute. Maybe I'm slow. I was just like, what is this? I know it has to be an immunity challenge. Wait, does it?
Yeah, because first, like, when it's just like, when we didn't see any stacks, just saw players kind of playing with the rocks. Like, that's what I was like, is this just guided meditation? Casey's just so concerned with the well-being of his players. Really, we know Survivor hosts, you just want to torture your players, don't they? Now, if you were playing this challenge, what would your strategy have been?
Adam's strategy. I mean, so because I was looking at his little stack there, it looked like he had the bigger pieces at the bottom, and then as he went up, he was stacking the higher ones more vertically because they had so many edges. There are like 20 edges on each of those rocks that you could try to stack. So as many vertical pieces as you can possibly do with the but have that stable base. I think he had the best. I mean, clearly he had the best strategy, right?
Also, a lot of practice from having young kids too.
Right, yeah.
The true secret weapon is children.
I would have more children and then play with them. No, I hate kids, whatever.
So I did a variant of this challenge and I hated it with all
Really?
my gut. So the property had this giant lumber pile. And it was the first one to get 5 pieces of wood stacked vertically on top of each other.
Ooh.
And oh my gosh, I could not get like 3 stack, let alone 5 stack, because like none of them were like cut straight all over at angles. And I just kind of rage quit the challenge. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm frustrated in my mind. I cannot get flat pieces to save my day. And I was so happy to have that challenge end and lose.
That sounds really frustrating.
But so I like this rock perspective, because these rocks are really like cut with facets to be stacked. So.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can find those rocks online too, if you want to recreate this challenge at home.
Ooh, are you going to put the website up so we can?
I should have linked in my show notes and I didn't. Else I would. Because I paused it. I was like, oh, there's a brand name on the box, and I googled like, oh, that's really cool.
I didn't notice that. Oh, cool.
So Adam ends up winning the challenge, but he ends up beating Jordan by centimeters, and this was early in the episode. This is such a key defining moment in the direction of the episode, because is Adam going home if he loses this challenge?
I mean, I think so.
Should Adam go home if he loses this challenge?
I don't think so.
I think this was great for Adam's game, winning this challenge. Horrendous for Hannah's game, him winning this challenge.
Well, tell me more.
So, I mean, I have this grand theory about Hannah's game, but Hannah, we've heard, wants to make a move at 7. Hannah's like, I'm playing below the radar. I'm playing this nice, easygoing person, and I'm like biding my time to come and make a huge thing happen, right? To really show why I'm here. And we've heard all along, final 7, that's when it happens. And I don't think she had an opportunity this episode. Do you think that?
No, she didn't. Yeah.
Because I think the big move of like flipping on Megan and flipping on Megan and Dallas, everyone was doing it with her.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I don't think she got to be able to say, I initiated, made this happen. Now, I think had she flipped on Jordan, if she gets Dallas, gets Griffin, and maybe Adam, maybe she, out of self-preservation, Megan's willing to, and says like, hey, like let's look at this third option and take out Jordan, that would have been a massive move. Also, possibly could be disastrous for Gain had she done that, but that would have been a move to make it final 7 that she could have called her own.
Okay, I like the way you're thinking. I don't think it would have been disastrous for her game, and I wish that she had done this now, even though I love Jordan. Like, what a move, though, because when you hear these people talking about their final 3s, we don't get to hear Jordan's ideal final 3, but a bunch of other people want Hannah there. Now, if she does this big move and pulls it off, then maybe they don't want her in their final 3 anymore. Maybe she becomes too big of a threat. Yeah, so there's something to be said about not being the one to make the big move. So
I think your perfect world is she brings in Dallas and is able to pin the blame on Dallas. So Dallas takes the fall. She sits in the end and still looks great because she was one of 2 people. I don't think you need the sole figurehead of Bloomington, but if she's going to be one of 2 people and let the other person take the fall for her, right? And she can sit in as a result. And so this is why I think Adam winning is such a bad thing, because Adam would have been this juicy target that everyone's like, he needs to be out. We're done with him. Let's go. And then everyone focuses on Adam, and then she can step in, take Rosie, take Adam, grab a fourth person and then take the blind side of Megan and Dallas and claim ownership of that, that would have been amazing.
I just think she could have done that anyway, right? Because
It
they were
was
gonna
a
go after
lot harder with Adam winning.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I think because Megan knows she's in trouble, right? Like, she coulda got Megan to flip on Jordan. Megan at that point
Megan flipped on
knows.
Dallas.
Right, yeah. And at that point, Megan knows, like, Jordan may or may not be with her.
Jordan was very upfront with Megan this episode. Like,
You
they
know
were
what?
having the frankest conversations.
And I loved it. It was like two super intelligent gamers who respect each other and like each other, just being honest about what logically makes sense for both of their games. It was like a beautiful thing to watch. Like, these are two intelligent people who have so much respect for each other. I loved it.
And like there's a lot of like, it was clear that they're like, we can work with each other at Final Six, and then after that, it seems like we're going in different directions. Where Jordan's like, I don't think that you're listening to me. I don't feel like you're trusting me. And I don't trust you as much as I trust Adam and Rosie now.
Ouch.
And so, maybe Hannah gets Megan. Maybe Hannah gets Dallas. I think Griffin is up for it. Adam could be as well. I don't think Rosie would.
No. Yeah. Rosie, and I don't even know if Adam would, because Adam said that he wants Jordan and Rosie in his final three. Is that right? Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it just can't happen.
So Adam winning, I feel it was disastrous for Hannah having options for her plan. I think Hannah's best case scenario, Rosie wins, right? She wins, Rosie wins, Griffin wins. One of these players that's not one of the targets she's eyeing, and Adam winning, and everyone immediately just saying, well, I guess it's gonna be Dallas or Megan next. It just kind of really steals, I think, a lot of the thunder that she was planning.
It does, right?
But Adam's happy. Adam kind of has a new life in the game, and I think it's just that just completely changed everything that could happen this episode.
It does, yeah. As far as like going forward, I think Adam, it's so interesting because he, like, the players perceive him as this like target that needs to be taken out, but really for no reason. Because how many people really vote in the end based on how many competitions you've won? Not many. Like, I don't have much respect for a person who made it to the end just by winning every time or like being safe every time, right? I want a more well-rounded person to vote for in the end. So the fact that they all have their sights set on Adam makes him seem like a bigger threat than he is. And if they fail at getting him out and he's in the end, then his like win equity goes up just by the fact of existing.
Adam completely agrees with this analysis. It reminds me a lot of Ben Drybergen in Heroes, Healers, Hustlers.
Yeah.
Where you have this problem where there's a person we want to take out, right? And because everyone is so focused on him round after round after round, he plays idle. He does all these things. They build it up in this big target. So he gets to the end. He's like, look what I got through. Look what I endured, right? Yes. People have made him a threat versus like if people ignored him and played around him and showed like, hey, strategically, like he may be playing idols or winning challenges, but what's he doing strategically? That would help undercut his case, but I don't think that's happening with Adam. So I don't know. It's just a question like, was there follow-up that we didn't see from the Private Training Council? How much did it like change the narrative of his game? And like,
yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So when we're looking at kind of the alliances, right? We kind of have two duos and kind of an in-between now, I feel. Like we have Megan and Dallas, like this OG Brains alliance. We have the OG Braun alliance of Rosie Adam. And then you kind of have Adam, Griffin, and Jordan kind of dancing in between.
Adam, Griffin, and Jordan?
Sorry, Hannah, Griffin, and Jordan. Adam, Hannah, they look so alike. I get them confused. They're clearly BFFs in the game.
Yeah, okay. But is that really the way that it's playing out? Well, I guess at this point, yeah. Because Jordan was really with Adam and Rosie for a long time and protecting them both. And I couldn't figure out why. And then it started making sense. Like, okay, they're her shields,
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan's playing way better than I thought
Mm-hmm.
Jordan was playing.
Jordan's playing phenomenal, right? Like,
Yeah.
Jordan's playing the dream middle game where she's in the majority, firmly situated, scooping up the minority, right?
Mhm.
Because they only trust Jordan, right? And
Mhm.
she has options at this point. That's why, like it feels very hard to target Jordan just because everyone has invested and is relying on Jordan.
Yeah, I like, as far as these alliances go, Jordan is in the best position right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people catch on to that and target her like Hannah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, and so you kind of have like these kind of, dare I say, voting blocks. These smaller factions, and we see Jordan Co kind of bobbing back and forth. Last time Megan and Dallas's faction had the power, and they were able to target Adam, and now it's swung back to Adam and Rosie as the numbers have dwindled. Like, this is just completely changed. It's really interesting. And so kind of the general strategy of this episode is Adam's immune, so it's got to be Megan or Dallas. There's an initial plan to split the votes, but that kind of falls by the wayside into out of concerns to Idol. What were your thoughts on that strategy?
It's kind of silly. I mean, I guess you always should split the vote, especially a player like Megan who has found an right. She played an Idol. She kind of misplayed it. There were no votes canceled, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like that was when we had 3 Idol played. Mia played her Idol, Megan played her Idol,
I was
Adam
so
played her
upset.
Idol. It's like all the Idols are coming out.
I was so upset. Like, no, don't play your Idols. You're not in danger. So they were right to worry that Megan would have one and that Megan probably wouldn't have played it on Dallas. And I do wonder how much Jordan had to do with that, because it does seem like Jordan still really likes Megan and wants to work with Megan. Maybe that's more of a heart thing, like Hannah's whole brain, head versus heart thing. Maybe for Jordan, that's more of a heart thing to go for Dallas over Megan. So I do wonder how instrumental Jordan was in switching this, because it seemed like it was going to be Megan.
Imagine she had some influence, right? Say, all right, everyone, put it on Dallas, right? And Jordan gets to keep one of her best friends, one of her strongest allies in the game, one of probably her biggest shields, right? I think Dallas is a more we saw from players talking. Dallas is a more attractive final 3 option than Megan.
Yes, yeah, and you could tell. I think it was Jordan, Adam, Rosie, and Hannah are sitting around in this circle, and Adam and Rosie look not happy that the plan is now voting out Dallas. They're just like, I guess we have to deal with this. Especially Adam didn't seem happy about it because he sees Megan as the biggest threat. And he's right as far as, Megan versus Dallas. Megan is a bigger threat to win.
Who does Dallas going home help this episode?
Jordan.
Only Jordan.
I was gonna say Hannah,
only Jordan.
It's only Jordan. Yeah, so shit.
Because
right on, Jordan.
Hannah loses because Hannah's final 3 has very little wiggle room. It's like it needs to be her, Rosie, Griffin, and Dallas is probably the only lone substitute she can afford. So Dallas is not an option so that limits her, Rosie, and Griffin's end game plans, right? If you're Adam, maybe you're neutral because you just want to get to the end, and Dallas is an obstacle. If you're Jordan, you don't trust Dallas. And frankly, Dallas is an obstacle in your relationship with Megan, and Megan's losing her number 1.
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, Jordan just set themselves up perfectly here.
So yeah, I don't feel like, maybe because I didn't rewatch the episode, I don't remember the exact details of how it came from we need to split the vote to nope, all in. But it's a coup for Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so strategy-wise, and what I guess the other thing that amazes me is we just went through the last episode, Final 8, where no one split the votes, and Rosie cast the sole vote to knock out Mia, and now here we are when everyone's like, we shouldn't split the votes again.
That's so interesting. I completely forgot about that they we're going all in.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosie ruined it for me and Mia because we don't get Mia anymore. I was so mad. I was like, who did that? Who did it?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier that you think Rosie's going to have a tough time at the end. And I think if Rosie sits with Adam, that's bad. And Rosie sits with Jordan, that's bad. But I think if Rosie does sit with Griffin or Hannah, I think people will say, I cast that vote for Mia. You want to talk about having direction power in the game? That was me.
Good point. Yeah. I still think, okay, so Rosie, Griffin, and Hannah, yikes. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah, like, has said, like, there are things that I've done that the jury doesn't know about, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
You want the jury to know about the things you've done. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want the players in the game to know. But it seems like Hannah maybe, like, I don't know what she's done, like,
I mean,
I want to know.
Hannah survived, right? And I think
Right.
Hannah getting the end, she's going to sell a story. She's like, look, I am one of 3 players that knew no one and no one knew me. And here I am. And look how I was able to navigate and win touchy subjects and know you all better than you know yourselves to work my way here. Now, I think the icing on the cake with Hannah is that have a defined, not big move per se, but a defined action she took and say, this is when I leveraged my power and was able to make something happen according to what I wanted. I think that would seal the deal. I think not having that can make things more tenuous.
And the only thing I think would be getting Jordan out for her.
Yeah, I think backstabbing Jordan would be hard, but good.
Yeah, it like narrows her path to the end, I think, but that's the only real big move that Hannah could make that could give her that extra boost to beat Rosie. Because you're right, like Rosie can say that. Like Griffin has played the middle really well.
I feel like Griffin's been like Charlie Brown and Lucy has the football and keeps making him miss because Griffin has tried this entire merge to do stuff. It's just things haven't been working out for him.
But that's not his fault. And I think like the fact that he's still there means he has a social game. He knows what he's doing. He's super smart. But autonomy, then you can only do what you're able to do. And you have to, in the end, have respect for that, right? And he wishes he had voted for Mia. I know he does because he wanted to. It could have been him and not Rosie. But
yeah. Well, let's talk through these remaining players and let's kind of talk about like where do they go from here? What should they do? And I think we should talk with the man of the hour, Adam. He's happy. He's won immunity. He got through Shot in the Dark. Right. We've had several players talk about there is a shift in dynamics as a result of this, where Adam has gone from the bottom to kind of sitting pretty at the moment. And he lays out his final 3 is with him, Rosie, and Jordan, and he just doesn't want to sit next to Megan. That's the one person he's like, I don't want to be next to. Right.
I don't. It's kind of silly. I don't know. Why those 3 and why does everyone see Megan as such a super duper threat, right? She is perceived as being smart and having some control in the game and having a good social game. Is she playing as good as Jordan? Well, maybe that's
I think Megan's game is more visible.
Yeah.
All right, and that visibility has led to her having this kind of figurehead alliance targets, especially with the touchy subjects and kind of getting like the play. She's visibly the player playing the best in that touchy subjects round, and so I think Jordan is playing better than Megan because players aren't targeting Jordan, but I think Megan's the narrative kind of wrapping her around is she just needs to get to the end at this point because everyone's saying she's playing the best, and if people let her get to the end, she's like, "You all said I was playing the best, and here I am."
She has to win if she's in the end. Yeah. I guess it depends on who's with her. But for Adam, Griffin or Hannah would be better choices than Jordan in a final 3. And I wonder how much that is loyalty playing into it for Adam in his ideal final 3.
So one thing I forgot was that Griffin went to the finals with Adam on their first season 3, and Griffin lost to Adam that season, which I totally forgot about the dynamic till Griffin's like, I've done this game once. I'm not playing this a second time.
Right. That's one of the reasons, the many reasons that I think as soon as Adam isn't safe, he's going home. I don't see him in the final 3.
Well, I imagine Adam loses final 6 immunity. Adam gets targeted, and maybe we're both big Hannah stans here, so maybe Hannah takes advantage of that and targets someone else. Who knows? I think Adam getting the end is gonna be hard. I don't think Adam has the luxury of caring who he gets the end with.
Right.
I think Adam just wants to be sitting there.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, he'd be happy to sit with anyone, I'm sure.
And I don't know, and maybe like if he wins immunity straight to the end, is that enough?
Not for me.
No, not for Taylor, but like, are people going to look at him and say, "Wow, you're one of the 2 returning winners, and you fought your way to the end, and you used everything at your disposal, and sure you got lucky, but look what you accomplished." Is that enough? Or people are saying like, hey, like you didn't have much power and sway as some other people here.
And it's been demonstrated his social game is lacking this time, where I think his first time his social game was better. That's what Casey told me in the cast assessment. But yeah, I mean, that last maybe it was 2 episodes ago in that tribal, it was just so clear, like, oh, he's just not doing a good job here on the social side at all. So if you're a jury member, you want to vote for the person you're going to feel the best about as your winner. So I still don't. It's a really hard road for Adam to win at this point.
I don't think it's gonna be as hard to win. I just think getting to the end is just gonna be really hard, because I'd say like we're at the final 6. We have 3 more votes, and those votes can easily be some combination or order of Jordan, Megan, Adam.
Yeah.
There's
smart. Yeah.
I think we live in a world with a high likelihood it's those 3 in some order.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Rosie then. So 2 things around him this episode is we hear his final 3. It's him, Jordan, and Hannah, where he likes Adam. Adam's his biggest ally, but he recognizes I can't take him to the end. And that his big strategy that he says, like, I listen, I agree, and then I evaluate. So we kind of hear how he's kind of been handling the game so far. What were your thoughts on this?
I mean, I love it. I don't love that final 3 for him at all. I love it for me to watch. But Rosie's smart. But like, I don't think I think Griffin's smarter in he has the best idea of who his ideal final 3 should be. So Rosie is wanting to take these 2 players who are way more social and strategic than he is. And that's unfortunate for him. And I don't think he could beat either of them.
Yeah, I think there would be a shot, but I think it's gonna be a hard tribal council against Jordan, let alone Hannah.
Right. But what a great final tribal that would be. Like that all 3 of them would do a great job, I think, of explaining their games, and that would be really fun to watch.
Yeah. Now, getting to the other side, Megan, she clearly knows she's being targeted, right? We see her idol hunting and just like I'm trying to make the most of it, but I have no idea where this is. We know she would like to vote out Griffin, but kind of realizes I'm not gonna have any clout for that this episode, even though she talks to Jordan like, why are we keeping Griffin in? Why him? Why keep him over me and Dallas? And she tries to get cute a little, right? She and Dallas tell Rosie and Adam that Jordan's targeting them, but the relationship that Jordan's built, they don't even believe it. And finally, we see her having very frank conversations with Jordan about like, where are they going with this alliance in the game? And it's very clear, not much farther.
Right. Megan's road to the end is really, it's coming to a dead end. I hate that for Megan so much. And she was doing everything she could. You can't fault her. Like when your back's up against the wall, you're gonna throw out wacky things like, "Oh, Jordan's targeting you, Rosie." Like,
and I don't know what Megan could have done differently this game to make it happen. I mean, cast a vote for Rosie last round, so that's a tie between the Rosie and Nia, so Rosie goes home. I mean, I think most of the votes we've seen
No.
have been generally beneficial for her.
Yeah, they have.
And so I think letting Mia go last round was more of a disaster than expected just for her, because I feel like Mia and Megan were pretty close.
Exactly. Yeah, Mia going home was definitely disastrous for Megan. If Mia's still in the game, who would have been out?
Oh,
Adam, right?
so Adam would have gone home. Mia would have been in the game. I think Griffin might have been the target.
Mm-hmm.
So Griffin might have been the target, or Rosie likely, like they're just kind of gone for the drugs, and then like Hannah would likely tries to then flip the script at that point.
Yeah. Oh, how fun. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Adam staying in the game really complicated everything really
Oh, Adam.
badly.
Damn you, Adam.
So yeah, I think Megan again just needs to sit at the end. It's just
Yeah, if she gets there, it's super hard. Harder for her than Adam, I would say, because she doesn't have the luck of Adam.
I
But
know
if she gets there,
we all want Adam's luck. I know.
yes. But if she gets there, I think she has to win, right?
Adam apologizes for his ability to draw to
Yes.
make 1 in 6 work.
It's okay, Adam. We forgive you for your fantastic luck.
I mean, so maybe maybe it involves 2 immunities and a blindside. It's like she's the main boot, but then a blindside happens on someone else, and she lucks out as a response. I don't know. But it's if she's able to finagle her way to the end, it'll be a very impressive thing to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's gonna be hard. I guess let's talk about Dallas as well.
Yeah, we haven't talked enough about Dallas.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dallas.
So Dallas's final 3 is him, Rosie, and Hannah, which actually I think is a very solid final 3.
Definitely.
I think there are no issues with that whatsoever, and like it's interesting that Griffin's not in that final 3.
I know. I was thinking that too. Maybe that's like his plan B.
And then we get some. He's like, I'm really nervous. I am used to having all the information on where everything is, and I don't. And like he realizes it, right? I mean, and granted, like this isn't like a super devious blindside where they're so it's very clear to both Dallas and Megan this is happening, but he knows like I'm used to having all the information, and now I don't, and that's concerning, and I want to throw everything against the wall. And I don't know if we get to see that stuff getting thrown against the wall, but do you have any suggestions of what he could have proposed to make that happen?
I was really thinking about this, and I was on this path of like if he had tried to target Griffin, because I thought I think I saw the conversation between Megan and Jordan a little differently. I don't know if I was misinterpreting what was going on, but I thought that Jordan was saying that Griffin is like playing both sides, and she didn't trust Griffin. So I think Jordan would have happily voted out Griffin. But maybe not over Dallas is the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think it was interesting hearing Jordan express the distrust, but clearly it wasn't enough to make her change her mind of where she needed to go.
Right. I mean, yeah. So, what could Dallas have done?
And like it's weirdly like Jordan, I think, is the only other option at that point, right? Because like you look at the players in the convince, which are Hannah, Griffin, Rosie, right? Like we know those, like these are the people, they're all eyeing each other as final 3 options, and they're not going to target each other as results. And like with Adam being immune, Megan being your number 1, like it's either you get people to roll on Megan better, or you target, or you flip it on Jordan. And maybe the answer is he to create a fake idol and say, look, I had the immunity idol, and everyone's like gets scared and votes Megan instead.
Right. I mean, yeah, that was the other way my mind was going. But you have me intrigued here for a second with this other. If he had gotten people to go after Jordan, like who would vote for Jordan? Megan, Griffin for sure, Dallas, and then if they got Hannah, like I don't know what his relationship with Hannah was, but they definitely could have gotten Jordan out, I think, if they had just gone to Hannah. Because she was up for a big move, right? Yeah. So I don't think Adam or Rosie would have turned on Jordan at all.
No, I mean, I feel like Adam more than Rosie, but generally no.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, it's this was frustrating because I felt like Dallas has been sitting very pretty for a majority of the merge, and this is the first time we really felt exposed, and there was just not a lot of wiggle room. And I don't know. Again, I think Mia going home, like Casey said, Adam staying in the game complicates everything. Is everything Devontae said all season 3, and now we're seeing again season 5. It's a refrain. I think it made his game a lot tougher, especially with Adam staying in and winning immunity. So
it's a beautiful thing, really. But
that's Survivor, baby.
Yeah.
It's like can't make this stuff up. So what should Griffin be doing then? Like Griffin, like you can tell he I love the way he thinks with the game. He's like, Megan's playing the best game, but Adam's checking the power dynamics. I want to be with Hannah, Dallas, and Rosie, some combination. So now it's Hannah, Rosie, and him. So that's his final 3. He knows who the threats are, Jordan and Adam, but he's strangely being cast in this very untrustworthy light by Megan and Griffin.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's the point where he's left out of the vote, and then like he's voting in minority by because they don't trust him to not tell Megan how to play an idol she might have.
Right.
What are your thoughts on all this?
No one trusts him, but they're using him. They're all trying to use him as a number, but no one trusts him. It's the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. And you know, he has, I mean, they're not wrong. Jordan was wrong that thinking that Griffin is the one who cast the vote for Mia, but I think he's given them all reason to think he is a little shifty with his votes. So in past votes, so they're not. I don't think anyone's wrong to not trust him. He has a great mind for the game. I wouldn't want to trust him either. But can he win? Against some people, sure.
I think so. Griffin's played this awesome middle game where he's been working with minority, willing to try to make things happen, right? And a lot of times it's like I just couldn't make it happen, despite his effort to do so. And so he's had a lot of fluidity in his game where he's been. Do you think him coming back from redemption is going to impact his ability to win?
You know, if it were like CBS Survivor, maybe. But I think people have more respect for the redemption thing in an LRG. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's true. Some people are like, I refuse to ever vote for someone who like gets voted out, comes back in. I'm just like, this is not 39 days or 26 days.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you're all playing the same. I don't know. It's different in an LRG, I think. You have to have a little bit more respect for it.
So I wonder, like, I think Griffin's very much in the kind of Hannah position where, like, I wonder if he's looking to try to make one final swing, to try to leave his mark on this game, and that can be his big arguing point at Final Tribal.
What will it be?
Yeah, and I just think like Griffin's challenges. I think Hannah's story and I think Rosie's story will both be challenging to him.
Yes.
I think if he says like, I was voted, I came back in, I had to reassimilate and refigure things out without the relationships, and like Hannah's like, well, I knew no one coming to this game, and I've been targeted from moment one, and I survived that.
Yeah, he needs to have something on his resume in order to have a good argument in the end,
or just like some way to help differentiate himself from the players around. Like, and like I like you, I hate the word resume. I like that. What is the story you're selling? And I think I'm just worried that his story is just not going to be as like convincing,
right? Yeah, but who knows? I mean, if you're more articulate than the other two people in a final 3, then your chances of winning really go up.
Which, like, I just feel so frustrated on his behalf because he has taken swings. It's not like he's just sat in his hands. It's just like every time he does, like, he's just in a situation where people aren't budging.
And he could talk about that too, and how he survived even though, right? Like, if he says the right things, I think he could still pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened in final tribals.
Yeah.
So Jordan seems, we already talked, instrumental in getting the vote to go from a split vote on Megan to all in on Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
She is very open about saying I've been the swing vote, which kind of, that's been true. She's putting a lot of faith in Adam and Rosie more than Dallas, Griffin, and Megan. I guess the first thing to talk about is, who do you think her final three is?
I'm so curious. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
A part of me wonders if Jordan just knows that they're playing. She's playing the best game. I just
Mm-hmm.
wonder if she's just like, I could sit with anyone and win, because it could be true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she wants to sit in the end with Megan though,
No one
because of the
does.
perception that everyone else has. I think she would probably be fine sitting in the end with Rosie and Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if Adam is interchangeable with Hannah for Jordan.
I don't think Jordan has any qualms with who she sits with at this point outside of Megan. If she ends up in the final three with Griffin and Adam, I think she'd be fine. Or Griffin and Hannah, or Rosie and Griffin, or Rosie and Adam. Like, I don't think she cares.
And I don't think she should.
Yeah, I think it's this point, it's her game to lose. Just the question of like, how far can she keep Megan in the game? I think if you're her, you want Griffin out.
Yes.
I think you want Griffin out at final 6, and I think maybe you lose Adam at final 5, and then Megan at final 4. But I think you need you need to let go of either Hannah or Griffin. Or Rosie, one of those three. You have to find a way to get them out of the game in the next one or two
crap.
votes.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I was like, wait.
Because if she loses Megan at 6, let's say Adam goes at 5, everyone's gonna look at her 4 and say, "Sorry, Jordan."
Absolutely. Yeah. Although she's pretty good at challenges.
She's pretty good at challenges. Like, I think we can very easily see her challenge win to the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you got to get Adam out first.
Yeah. I think if we saw this challenge, right? The only reason why Jordan didn't win is because Adam. So, I think one thing that really stood out to me, she says, like, I don't think Rosie is lying to me, right? Mm-hmm. And she has a conversation with Megan. She's like, I don't think Rosie is lying. I think he's being very upfront. I think Rosie's been very interesting, where people can't tell where his personality ends and strategy begins. And I find that fascinating.
I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah.
People a lot of times, like, was Rosie lying, or is this Rosie just being Rosie? Like, people can't
it's
tell.
Come up a lot. Yeah.
Like, where it starts, where it blurs and it goes from one thing to another. And I find it just fascinating about Rosie's game that he's pulling that off, that people feel like they can trust him because they're like, he's not lying to me, right?
Good for him.
Yeah, it's just a really cool thing to see from people's confessions about his game. So so if you're Jordan, who do you target next?
Oh gosh, shoot, yeah, it's got to be Griffin.
Yeah,
it's got to be Griffin.
I think you want Griffin. I think you want Griffin out, and that'll be interesting to see how that happens, because I think she can get Megan. The question is, Hannah's not going to want that. Rosie's not going to want that. Is Adam the swing vote?
Oh my gosh, how fun!
Do we go 3-3? It'll be. I think it could be interesting if she tries to force that through.
Yeah. Then again, if Adam doesn't win immunity, there could be just the momentum just carries it through, and Jordan's out of luck there.
Mm-hmm. So, last but not least, we've talked about Hannah's game a lot. Just like, we've been the entire season, it's been like, I need to get the final 7, which seems crazy when she was like final 18. I need to get the final 7, but she's not final 7. And I think, let's bring the quote up again. I hadn't seen the game, really complicated everything, and kind of like really made it a lot harder for her to have to take a swing at things like she's been wanting to. And this whole flip of Megan Dallas is being made without her spearheading it.
Mm-hmm.
What I did think was interesting is the heart versus head. What was your take on this, where she's like, my heart says Jordan and Megan, but my head says Griffin and Rosie.
I loved it so much. I loved hearing that from her because it's telling you like she's still got her mind in the game. She knows what's going on. She knows what's best for her game. She's not getting blinded by loyalty or liking people and friendship. Like she knows what she needs to do. I really liked seeing that. I do wonder, and I think you may have brought this up already, what would it mean for her path forward if she got rid of one of these close allies of hers, like Jordan, who want to take her further? But then you know what? Everybody wants to take Hannah to the end, so you know.
It's this good and bad thing, right? It's like it's great to say, well, everyone's taking the end, but you're like, everyone wants to take me at the end, which means they think they can beat me.
And that is fine as long as you've done things that the jury knows about, or that at the very least that you can articulate at the end, like, you all didn't know I was doing this and this and this. And if she can do that, she's very articulate. I think she can. I just don't know what exactly she's done that would be a bigger thing than anyone else that she might be sitting next to, right?
Now, I think there is a very easy world where Megan goes home at 6, Adam goes at 5, and Jordan is cut at 4, leaving her, Rosie, Griffin as the final 3.
Hannah wins.
But maybe that is a slam dunk for Hannah to be there like that, and she can just let it ride out like that and say, well, like, I could have made a big move, but like I didn't because I knew getting here with these two guys next to me was all I needed to do.
There's something to be said for that. Like, I didn't have to do anything, right? Like, you fools all thought that you could beat me and wanted to take me.
Like, right? I looked like a pretty little lamb and said yes, and I love everyone, and everyone looked over the fact that I was in full control of what I was doing this entire time. But is there a world where she has to instead take a swing at Jordan at 6,
right?
Take Megan at 5, and if Adam's in the final 3 with her, so be it, right? I think that maybe
she's
okay.
Badass. Yeah, if she can do it, yeah.
So I don't know. I think, I just don't know if she needs to take a swing at Jordan at final 6 or final 5. If she needs to swing earlier, but waiting until final 4 is okay.
It's tough. What a good game. This is such a great end game here. So fun and exciting.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we kind of wrap up with what happened at Tribal Council?
I'm looking at my notes. No. Perfect. We talked about everything.
Tribal Council is much more straightforward this time. I think the only thing that stood out to me is Adam making a very public apology kind of to the jury and to the other players.
Smart for him to do. Yeah. I found that interesting.
The vote is straightforward. It's 5 votes Dallas, 2 votes Megan. Griffin, Dallas both vote Megan. Griffin probably has been left in the dark, which is why he votes that way, and Dallas does it out of defense. Megan does flip on Dallas at the end, for better or worse. Dallas, who by the way looks extremely sunburned in that exit interview.
I know.
I was like, is it the camera? Is the lighting, or like we just couldn't tell how sunburned he's been this weekend?
Exactly.
I was like, oh my gosh, she needs aloe vera ASAP.
Yes.
But he's rooting in kind of for Megan, Griffin, and Jordan, and was looking forward for Adam to join him in the jury soon, because it's too soon to have a 2-time winner in a series like this.
Couldn't agree more.
And so, to wrap things up, was there anything Dallas could do this episode? Was he just ultimately collateral damage for Megan?
I feel like there's something he could have done, but not in such a short game. If he had like an extra hour or two, his brain would have cleared up and he maybe would have made a fake idol, like something. There had to be something, but the odds were stacked against him for sure.
So it reminds me of Survival Challenge 2019. In that season, I think the final 7 ended. It was night of day 3, and the Tribal Council was the morning of day 4, like night of day 4, morning day 5, whatever. And Louis was the target that night, and because they had that night, everything changed by the time the next morning happened. And like maybe had there been like more time, a full day for people to plan and strategize, things could have changed as well for Dallas, but that's just not the case here.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about these LRGs, so being so short.
It's why, it's the speed is just really hard, and you can tell it's just very mentally taxing on players. I think as we
Yes.
see is, I imagine we get to the final four, but we're just like, we're dead. Just make it end.
Steven, it blows my mind because they have food and they're like, "Oh, my brain doesn't work." You have tortillas and peanut butter and Gatorade. What are you talking about? Day 3, shut up. You're fine.
So this is where I admit I have yet to watch Surviving Maine. What is
Oh
the
my God.
conditions for the players like in that game?
Each tribe of 8 gets 1 cup of rice to split for the 4 days. Period.
So they get 2 mouthfuls. That's it.
Yes, and then there's reward challenges, but they don't even get that much food in those either, and there's a merge feast.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear people talk about like,
and do they get sleeping bags in Surviving Maine?
They do, yeah. It's
Okay.
super cold, so yeah, you can't survive.
Okay, yeah, because like I mean, for me, like
no tents.
Food I can live without for like a 3 or 4 days period,
Sure.
but like sleeping bags are such a game changer. I can sleep, and if I could sleep, I am such a better person for
Right,
it.
right.
All right, so let's do some power rankings of like not like playing the best, but likelihood of winning the game.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so in my head, I'll go from kind of bottom to top. Megan, I just cannot see a way Megan gets in that isn't a combination of being lucky and immunity wins. It's going to be super. I just think her way to the end is just really hard. And by the way,
agree.
Taylor, if you're accepting applicants for next season, we have someone who might be interested in applying for Surviving Maine.
The cast is full. We do need some women dropped out, and we like to keep the gender identity balanced there, so we need more women, but not men. We have way too many men.
So when does the application drop in for 2024?
Yeah, you apply now for 2024. Seriously.
So I have kind of Megan, like it's just like I just struggle to see her getting to the end.
I agree.
And I have Jordan afterwards just because I think Jordan is playing fantastic, but I think if she gets the final four and she's not immune, people are just gonna look at her and say, "How can we take you to the end?" I have Adam next. Okay. I think Adam has just been this perennial target people are itching to finally take out, and I think it's gonna happen. And I feel like he has a shot at the end. I just think like again, he's just one of these big 3 players left people are eyeing. And then I have Griffin as third, where I see him getting the final tribal, but I think he's gonna have a hard go at the argument. And then for me, I don't know if it's Rosie or Hannah. They're kind of tied together at the end there.
We're almost identical in our power rankings, except I would put in that it would be Megan, Adam, Griffin, Jordan.
Okay.
So just like Adam, Griffin, Jordan, mix those up a little bit.
Okay. So you think Griffin's not going to make the final tribal? He's going to be cut, or like just like chance of him winning? Okay.
I do. I think Jordan's going to get Griffin out. That
would be fascinating to see, because that changes everything if Griffin's gone.
Right.
If Griffin's out, I think Adam's a shoe into the end.
Oh, I think Adam goes before Griffin. Adam
6, Griffin 5, Megan 4?
That's what I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think Megan's going to pull out an immunity win. I don't know. These are my hopes.
So if Adam goes 6, Griffin goes 5, if Megan goes 4, I think Jordan takes it.
Yeah.
So and like honestly, if Jordan wins in that fashion, I think Jordan, if Griffin goes out final 6, that will be the move that decides the game.
You're so right. Oh, this is so fun. Casey, when are more episodes coming out?
Hopefully next Saturday.
Okay.
So from here, I think we need to talk about the player of the episode. We need to give a Bloomie to the person who we think, or we each think, because we'll each give one, has played the best this episode.
I think we're going to have the same one, Steven.
We'll say the name on, I count down 3. 3, 2, 1. Jordan. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we quickly convinced ourselves who we're giving it to.
Yeah, I was having a hard time maybe thinking Hannah, just because she was in everyone's final 3, but you got to give it to Jordan for what seemed like her move of getting Dallas out and keeping a shield in Megan.
Yeah, I think runner-ups, I think Hannah for having options,
Yeah.
Adam for winning immunity and kind of shifting things and having time to kind of change the narrative that kind of came up after that last round. But it's hard to say no considering what we just saw in Jordan's game.
Right.
And especially because Jordan and Rosie have the last advantage that's active in the game right now.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that at all. They don't know each other.
Oh no, they do. Oh, they do.
They do. Oh my god, I missed it. Oh no.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, maybe there's a world Rosie could have voted out Jordan, because if Rosie votes out Jordan, Rosie then now has
an idol,
immunity idol, right, to use that final 6. But now Rosie and Jordan have essentially a steal vote,
right,
which might make any sort of blindside hard at this round.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I hope they use it. Ooh.
Yeah, so maybe like all you need is like Megan, Rosie, Jordan steal a vote out Griffin. But was Rosie really?
I think Rosie would do it.
Rosie's final 3 is him, Jordan, Hannah, so he would do it.
Exactly. This could happen.
Yeah. So Griffin, win some immunity, please.
Yeah. Make it exciting for us.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I want to note is we have 2 players left from each original tribe. We have 2 brains of Griffin and Megan, 2 beauty, Hannah and Jordan, 2 brawn, Adam and Rosie, all symmetric, just as planned.
Amazing. I didn't notice that.
And then, like, unfortunately not balanced by swap tribes. Hannah is the only person left from her swap tribe who hasn't been voted out once. Technically it's Hannah and Griffin, but Griffin got voted out of that tribe. Yeah. So this game is interesting. It's really, and maybe because like that red 2.0 swap tribe had the numbers from the merge, they've really defined it, but it hasn't felt that way, which has been nice.
Yeah. This is a really well-balanced season, period, in many ways, and I'm just loving it.
And which I've loved, given that the fact this is an all-star cast, there's all this history, but it hasn't felt inaccessible, which has been very nice.
It's beautiful.
So your prediction then next episode is?
What was it? That Griffin goes out.
Griffin goes out. And do you think that Jordan and Rosie...
Sorry. Yes, I do. Okay, wait. Yeah, my prediction is Adam wins immunity again and Griffin goes out.
I mean, I'll take a different prediction. I predict that Megan goes home.
That's a very good one. Yeah.
I think that could be the other logical. Yours is the more exciting option of the two. I'll take the more like straightforward option that I think people might be looking at. And then your winning prediction then is looking to be Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think Jordan is a strong candidate. I think Hannah is a dark horse.
Agree, and would love that. Love Hannah.
I think we kind of tapped out everything from this episode. Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, I just love surviving Bloomington. That's all.
Yeah. Well, in these last couple minutes, I'd love for if you'd like to give a plug for Surviving Maine or talk a little about it. Do you want to do so right now?
Yeah, I mean, Surviving Maine, shoot, I wasn't even thinking about it because I was so excited about Surviving Bloomington. We will be filming. We film every May. There are 2 seasons on YouTube. I did all the editing and composed the original music. It takes over my life for about 6 months every year. But they're really good seasons, especially this one that just wrapped up a couple months ago. It's just like such exciting gameplay. Great cast of players that you won't see anywhere else. I mean, there is royalty in Justin McCubry. Justin McCubry is in season 3 of Surviving Maine, and who doesn't know who he is, right? And then we really need more women players for this season that we'll be filming in 1 month, about 6 weeks from now. So hit me up if you want to apply for that, or just go to the Surviving Maine Facebook page or Instagram page and apply over there.
Yeah. So yeah, apply for this year, apply for next year. We always need more players for these games. Yeah, Taylor, just thank you so much for taking your time tonight. I know that we were on a tight schedule given your work hours, so I'm really grateful that we're able to make it work.
Me too.
For those who are looking for more Surviving Bloomington, the cast for their next season has dropped. If you go to the Surviving Bloomington website, you can see their bios, and you can also donate to players as well.
Go, Melanie.
Donations.
Sorry.
The donations that we saw this season can have potential advantages or benefits for those players. So get excited for more Bloomington content beyond this season happening, hopefully in the future too. But yeah, once again, Taylor, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for tuning in and listening, and have a great rest of your evening.
Bye.